momentum of a body is the product of its mass and velocity, or the quantity of momentum of a body is called its momentum. Mathematically, if m is the mass and v is the velocity of a body, then momentum p is given by p equals mv unit. In MKS system, the unit of momentum is kg meters per second or ns. Nature: it is a vector quantity. Its direction is same as that of a velocity. Law of conservation of momentum: the total momentum of a system remains constant provided no external forces act on it. Or the momentum of an isolated system always remains constant. Proof: consider a system consisting of two balls A and B of masses m1 and m2 moving in a straight line, with velocities u1 and u2. On colliding with each other, they move with velocities v1 and v2 respectively. The total momentum of the system before collision equals m1u1 plus m2u2. The total momentum of the system after collision equals m1v1 plus m2v2 according to the law of conservation of momentum. Initial momentum equals final momentum equals m1u1 plus m2u2 equals m1v1 plus m2v2. Hence the momentum of a system remains constant. Friction: when two bodies are in contact with each other and the force is applied to the upper body to make it move over the lower body, an opposing force is developed in the plane of contact which resists the motion. This force is called friction. Or when one body slides over the surface of another body, an opposing force is set up to resist the motion. The force which opposes the motion is called friction. Causes of friction: there is no ideal smooth surface present in universe. Each surface has elevations and depressions which causes to friction. When two surfaces are brought into physical contact, the elevations of one impacts into the depressions of first or vice versa, which causes an interlocking with two surfaces. This interlocking opposes the relative motion of one surface on other. Factors on which the friction depends: friction depends upon the following two factors: 1. Normal reaction. 2. Nature of surfaces. 1. Normal reaction. Force of friction is directly proportional to the normal reaction R, which acts in upward direction against the weight of the body sliding on a surface as 2. Nature of surface. Force of friction also depends upon the nature of two surfaces in contact with each other and is constant for various pairs of surfaces in contact, and this value is coefficient of friction. Self-adjusting force. The force of friction has the ability to increase its value with the increase of applied force till it reaches a maximum value. Due to the strange nature of frictional forces, we call them as the self-adjusting force. It is denoted by Fs. Limiting friction. The maximum force of friction which just stops the body from moving is called limiting friction. Coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction is the ratio between force of friction and perpendicular reaction, where Greek letter mu is coefficient of friction, r is the perpendicular reaction, F is the force of friction. Rolling friction. When a body rolls over a surface, it experiences an opposing force that is called rolling friction. Rolling friction between two bodies is much less than the sliding friction because in rolling the contact surface is much less than that in sliding. Advantages of friction. 1. Frictional forces help us to move forward. 2. Nut and bolts can hold a body due to friction. 3. A nail stays in the wood because of friction. 4. We cannot hold anything without friction. 5. We can tie a knot because of friction. Disadvantages of friction. There are so many disadvantages of friction, but some are as follows. 1. In a car engine, oil under pressure is supplied continuously to ball bearing. Surface failure of the oil supply will allow metal-to-metal contact, and the resulting friction often raise the temperature, and due to this ball bearings and piston are sized up to. Due to friction, the efficiency of machine is less than 100%. 3. Due to friction, machine catches fire. Methods of reducing friction. Friction can be reduced by adopting the following methods. 1. The various parts of the machine which are moving over one another are properly lubricated. 2. In machines, the sliding of various parts are usually replaced by rolling, and this is done by using ball bearings. 3. Where sliding is unavoidable, a thick layer of greasing material is used between the sliding surfaces for the front of the fast-moving object, like cars, airplanes, made oblong to minimize air friction.